I think Maurice in this situation, he's so used to just kind of he's trying to keep it minimal, but Kimmy plays a huge role in the situation, so he has to involve her.
Yeah, and I think it's very important too to understand is that when you do set boundaries, it may come with the price. I think I try to be as transparent as possible. I filed for divorce with my first wife, and with that being said, it was difficult when my first wife found out that I had moved on with my life, and I think was even when I was the one to try to bring that blended family in, because I'm a firm believer there are people that are successful in having a blended family. I think it's so very important to have a positive blended family because children they're watching, they're looking, and it shows them that no matter what, if we had differences, we still support our children. I think it was so unfortunate for my children's baby mother to maybe still be kind of bitter and kind of make the situation harder than what it is, because I think this is where maturity comes in. This is where coming to being an adult and understand that if I move on with my life, that doesn't mean that I don't stop being a father to both of my children. So when you have a parent that tries to use the children against the other parent, then shame on that actual parent, but you still got to move on with your life and try to be as positive as possible. Okay. Now it's important to know that later on in that conversation on the phone that Kyle had even suggested, because I believe once Kimmy had brought herself into the situation, guys, let me tell you something. The reason why it's so important to bring your current wife into the situation, because your current wife, especially if they are already mature and you love them, obviously, because you put a ring on it, they know how to communicate to that actual baby mama. And it can change the dynamics in a positive way, because Kyle will open up and she said, you know what, Kimmy, I would like for us to have a meetup with all of us, because from what I'm seeing from you and how positive you have been, I was rude to you. And I just want us to kind of clear things out and start over. So just guys, and I'm not just picking on my guys, because it could be the women on the opposite side too as well. It's that learn maturity, learn positive blended familyness, and how important it is to come together as one. Okay.
I can agree with that.
Now the next scene, Melanie's friend Tiffany, she comes to the office of Melanie, and she's just checking up on Melanie, just making sure she's okay, after the divorce and everything that she had. So I thought it was a very good conversation. It was a good friendship. And Melanie was even talking to Tiffany on, you know what, it was good that, brought you in the fold, because they actually met because both of them are members of the chambers of commerce in that area. And Tiffany has been through a divorce. So one thing I would like to say is it's good when you have someone that has been through similar situations as you. Sometimes it could be difficult if you're communicating with somebody who's never been in your same situation. So they don't really know how it feels.
Right.
What's your thoughts on that, sweetheart?
I agree. I think that is a good thing when you can connect with someone else, because they could be less judgmental.
Yeah.
They are not trying to sway you in one direction. They actually understand the heaviness and how uncomfortable that can be, how much that could weigh on you and in the entire family, and especially if you have children, how that can just change the dynamics of your entire life from a mental, emotional, financial standpoint, all the way across the board.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm glad to see that she has a friend that she could relate to and is open to discuss, that aspect of their lives together.
Great. Now the next scene is Martell. Martell goes to the house of his friend Chris, who's a broker. He was the one that was associated with the 47 acres. And just the main plot of this conversation is that Martell is approaching Chris because he wants to just kind of see where things are at with the 47 acres. So Chris goes in and says, hey, it's about to be sold. That's about to be locked up. But The broker, his friend Chris, tells him that it's something else I have to tell you, Martell. The developer wanted me to reach out to Melanie to see if she would like to build a couple of homes on that property.
Right.
Now, mind you, me and my wife that had this conversation is that we think that Martell could look at this in a positive way because this is money coming in to help out with the children and the finances and things of that nature because things has been slowing down on him. But I could also see it's a pride hit, right? You know, when you have a friend that kind of like don't come to you first, but comes to the ex-wife, it kind of feels kind of shady a little bit. So I do feel Martell's perspective is that, hey, I'm your friend. I'm the one that locked up this 47 acres and brought it to you. Right. So you should have came to me and you should have told the developer, you know, well, you can't help Melanie without having Martell somewhere in the mix in helping building this. What's your thoughts, sweetheart?
I feel for him in that instance because he is the originator of the entire deal. However, it's no one's fault that they decided not to work with him and move forward and, you know, create this whole neighborhood named after him and all that stuff like that. It's based upon his own actions, unfortunately. I think that what he's decided to do personally, I wish it hadn't affected his business life, you know, because clearly he has shown that, hey, I can do these things. That's why y'all want to work with me in the first place, right?
Right.
But it's just unfortunate in the situation. But at least they're still looking to the wife and knowing that they are a unit. And even though they may be divorced, she still can make it happen. And if he just looks at it from the totality of my kids gonna eat, you know, somehow I may be able to come in on the other end of this.
Right.
You know, it'll be cool. So, yeah.
Yeah, I agree. And, you know, everything my wife said, I totally agree 110%. And it goes back to what I was saying earlier. You reap what you sow. And sometimes, you know, you'll reap your sowing may not come right then and there, but it'll come later on in life. And I think it's making him feel bad right now. Now, with that being said, the next scene is the therapy sessions with the therapist. Her name is Miss Price. I really like Miss Price.
Yeah, she's a great therapist.
Yeah, she's a co-parenting therapist. And the first thing she does when they come into the therapy session is she asks, do you think the kids are ready for therapy? Or, you know, how are the kids doing? And, you know, Martell immediately said, well, they're fine. They're just fine. You know, there's nothing wrong. And I don't want to have them breaking in the therapy or anything because I don't want to cause a problem that's not there. Now, Melanie, on the other hand, is looking like,
bro, there's a problem. Doc, just because you can't see there's a problem. There's a problem.
Well, first of all, you know, there's nothing like a mother's love as well. And she seemed to be more in tune with the children more than Martell because she wants to be honest about the situation. I think Martell, from a pride standpoint, again, is kind of bringing up because his pride is in the way. And Melanie said, well, the children are not good. They have seen the parents arguing and they know that he's been cheating. And even the son has resentment against his own father. So with that right there should be a wake up alarm for Martell is that, man, you really have to be more in tune of your family if you want to be able to pick up the pieces where you maybe have fumbled on maybe because of your poor decisions you have made in the marriage. Now, with that being said, I think it was a strong point that came in when Martell started to get emotional. And he started to get emotional because, you know, when you're not working, especially if you're an alpha male and you are used to having a certain amount of money and you're not making that money and you're not able to do as much financially for your children, he kind of breaks down about that. But one thing that I know that through my experience, if you are involved in your children can care less of how much money daddy has. You know what they care more about is time. Come on, Cuddle with Purpose. Someone put Cuddle with Purpose in the comment section. Hashtag Cuddle with Purpose. This is what Cuddle with Purpose is all about. It's all about showing love and knowing that, you know, money is important to provide, but it's not the all or everything.
Yes, I think it definitely says a lot about where he's at mentally. Because as we know, as you grow financially and you've been trying to build something and you've kind of gotten to the top of your game, if there's something that breaks you down, that's going to take a hit at your confidence and all those different things. But if he just really pays attention to the fact that, hey, I just need to be with my children, I think that he will help them to navigate through this season, and they won't even miss a beat, nor will they even notice that daddy is lacking in this particular area. So yeah.
I love you, sweetheart.
I love you too,
She's
honey.
so amazing, y'all. So with that being said, coming to a close is the one last scene of that same scene with the therapist. And I think it was very thought-provoking how the therapist had communicated about her story.
Yeah.
How she went through a divorce, and they went through divorce because she found out that the husband at that time was having a child.
Yeah.
And even though they went through a divorce because of the situation, she decided to show up and be involved in that other child's life, and even with their current child, because she wanted to set an example and a message. And she said, not verbally,
yes,
but just being present.
Yes.
That sounded like my wife, y'all. Like she always would say that, yeah, babe, I know you may not like certain people, and rightfully so, but just being present can make an impact more than you just saying things. Yeah. So this is the message that I know that I wanted just to kind of get across, is that Cuddle with Purpose is all about being present. Yes. Being in the moment, understanding to control the emotions. I still don't have to speak to be involved, but just my mere presence can mean that I'm all the way in. Yep. Yep. That's it, man. That's a wrap. I mean, that's a wrap. That's a wrap. So definitely we appreciate y'all. Don't forget to hit that like button. It really does help out our channel to grow. Hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to hit that bell notification, so that way you could be alarmed of new episodes that's coming your way. Yes. Later, till then, guys. Next time, Cuddle with Purpose. Yes.